In order for a relationship to work, there has to be some sacrifices made and also multiple compromises between you and your partner. Now, in 90 Day Fiance, we usually don't see that as much. People are always arguing about certain things and certain topics without being able or willing to compromise or make agreements with their partners. And that's exactly what we have been seeing. Before we keep going, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get this ball rolling. Let's go ahead and start off with Angela and Michael. Angela has woken up this morning feeling a little bit different, and she has now decided to continue her crusade in figuring out if Michael is lying or not. She does share with Michael that she feels a little bit confused because if they end up fighting again, then what is she going to do? Michael then tells her, well, you have my phone, you know, you can check everything I do, you can see what I'm doing, so you don't have anything to worry about. And here she decides that she wants to stay, but she wants him to delete the Paradise Man chat. The second half is about Michael being finally in America because he made it.
I'm looking at the airports everywhere now, you know? It feels like I'm dreaming.
And when we check out his jacket, it definitely makes you remember when we just got introduced to Michael and he was like in love with Trump. And he was just like, oh my God, I can't wait to meet President Trump. He even had a picture next to his bed. Like, yeah, it definitely makes you think of that. He can't even believe it. Even when he goes outside and he feels the weather, he's like, oh my God, it's so cold in here. It's so cold.
The cold was too much. Oh.
I do wish that we could do like a weigh in. You know how they say that when people begin their life in America, they gain more weight? Like that definitely happened to me. It happened to my mom. It happened to some people I know. And the third part is that she still doesn't trust him, but he's in America. So, oh well. They also want to go ahead and surprise Skyla because Skyla still thinks that Michael is not going to be here in the US and that he's going to continue scamming Angela. So she's definitely gonna like try to surprise her and see how that goes. Now let's move over to Patrick and Thaise. There is no baby, so it's day night. I honestly think that Thaise looks good all the time. Like she has such a beautiful face. She has such a beautiful body. She's a gorgeous woman. Like
I want a diamond ring. I want some bracelets and everything.
Remember our first date here? Couldn't even talk to each other. We had to use our phones.
It really sticks out to me how she cares so much about Patrick as her partner because the way that she stares at him is oozing with love and passion, reminiscent on their first date. Like you can see why she fell in love with him.
But I worked extremely hard to learn Portuguese. I mean, I literally studied 4 to 6 hours a day, probably for at least 3 months nonstop.
It also shows how like committed Patrick is because he had to learn Portuguese and he had to do so much studying to be able to speak it with her. Eventually, we shift from a memory lane and focus on Patrick's habit to be a defender for his family.
And you were defending John, you defend your dad, you defend, everyone.
Then it becomes a battle of dads. And it's not about whose dads could beat the other one up. It's about whose dad is worse for the relationship, which honestly breaks Patrick because it only reminds him how he didn't have his father in his life. Patrick's emotional breakdown even made Thaise emotional, but eventually Patrick gets it together and talks about how he wanted to salvage his relationship with his dad.
Having that apartment was the start of like my dad coming back into my life. And like, why throw that away for a few $100s?
He doesn't really have a value on the cost of the relationship because he says that it is priceless to him to be able to have that relationship with his father, giving us another moment to truly see how much Thaise cares about him because the moment that she starts seeing him cry, she also becomes incredibly emotional. And I think it just made her understand a little bit better why Patrick has such a hard time dealing with his father and saying no to him. In regards to Patrick's situation with his dad, I think one of the main things that hurts me the most is knowing that I personally also have a bad relationship with my father. I feel like we talk all this crap about, Patrick setting boundaries on what his dad is doing to him. And I think the sad part, in my opinion, is that me, and this is not just me speaking for myself, the moment that I'm able to talk to my father again and that I'm able to create a connection and a relationship again, I'm going to take it. In regards to my father lives in Mexico and I'm currently not able to visit him. But the day that I do go back to Mexico and the day that I'm able to see him and visit him, I'm going to do it. I know he's been a bad father to me. I know he's been an absent person in my life. And I know that maybe the decision of me seeing him and allowing him to see what I've done with my life is not the best, but I'm still going to do it. Like, you know, it's easy for us to criticize Patrick for wanting to build that relationship with his father. I am a big advocate for setting boundaries with your family members and with people that you care about, like your friends. But at the same time, I miss my father and I would love to see him again. I would love to see him again. Like, that is something that is not going to change. And I think one of the main reasons why I wanted to go here and share this with you guys is because we are all humans. We all make mistakes. We all do things like this. And yes, we criticize the 90 Day Fiancé cast all the time, but I'm also a human and I also make mistakes in my life. And I would say that one of those is probably going to be a big mistake in my life. It hasn't happened yet, but I can tell you guys that I will want to build that relationship with my father if there was a chance to do so again. I think more than anything, the fact that I will go to Mexico and see him is because of the fear of him passing away and me not ever seeing him. Like, just put it into perspective, it's been 15 years since I seen my dad. I got here when I was 12 and I'm 27 now. It's been a very long time. I have missed hugging him, kissing him. I've missed just like looking at his face, and it's definitely a difficult situation. And I'm just giving you guys a little bit of insight into my life, into my mistakes as a human being. Let me know if you guys have any experiences that you guys are willing to share in the comments. It's just, yeah. Yeah. Now, after this, Patrick shares that he wants to squash everything and move forward. And one of those things is that they're going to go on a little vacation on their vacation, and they're gonna have Thaise's dad come with them. Not only that, but
I'd like John to come on this trip with us and for you guys to bond too.
And we already know that Thaise and John don't get along. They don't like each other whatsoever. So what they're asking each other to do is to bring both of them, for Patrick to squash his beef with Thaise's dad and for Thaise to squash her beef with John. And not only squash their beef, but Thaise also wants Patrick to ask her dad for the blessing. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna go, but we'll definitely see that. I also found it sweet and funny when John was complimenting Thaise's butt cheeks, because she gets up and he's like, oh my god, since you got that baby, your butt has gotten bigger.
But when you gave birth, your ass got big.
Hey, shut up.
Moving on to Rob and Sophie. So Rob is back in Kansas City thinking about the girl that he lost his virginity to and how Sophie moved out again. In an effort to mix it up, decided to travel as a birthday gift to himself, and he goes to see his mom. He is worried about the opinions that she's gonna have about the entire situation.
It's gonna be good to be actually in person with the people that I care about, that care about me.
Which Rob, through a lot of his statements, be it outright or passively, he's feeling the lack of love in his life. Rob mentions how Claire and his mom are polar opposites. She clearly hunts the guy. And then he opens up to his mom about how he never envisioned marriage to be this way. And his mom also tells him that, yeah, it shouldn't be this way. But she's going to try to understand it a little bit better. And although Rob's mom calls out Rob and how he struggles with commitment.
I mean, commitment's not easy for you. You know?
That's a big thing for me.
I know it is.
She knows that he's a loyal man, and she feels like he deserves the love from Sophie. His mom clearly has his back, and it's kind of crazy to see Rob be able to talk to someone and not scream or walk away from him. Now we switch over to Sophie. We don't really get anything, but
it definitely feels weird not spending Rob's birthday with him. He's with everyone he cares about, and I'm not there.
She says a lot of weird things, like how she hoped Rob would be happy on his birthday, but she's not there. How he was a hoe in Kansas and maybe like be easily swayed today at the club.
And it's not like a healthy relationship right now, but like it's not something that I feel like we should just give up on, you know?
She doesn't even spend it with her man because she decided to leave. Anyways, Rob is at the club and he's using this as an escape to forget his marital issues, but only in his mind, not in any other way. But he's got to fight off the ladies and he's kind of trying. Psych! Actually, no, he's not trying.
It is pretty tempting to just be carefree and completely forget about my marital issues.
I personally believe that the moment that the girls started to get on him or started to touch him, he should have said, you know, that's it, we're done. No, don't do this, don't touch me, don't do that. Because then he has to really think if he will be okay if Sophie did that.
What will you do if I steal your phone? What will you do if I bite your neck?
I'm not gonna let you.
This bitch.
Like, will you be okay if a man came up to Sophie and started talking to her the way that these girls are talking to you and touching her the way that these girls are touching you? Like, my hubby and I were watching this episode together and he was like, what do you want him to do? And I was like, I want him to tackle her, throw her in the other side of the club. That's what I want him to do. And he just started laughing. But it's the truth. Like,
No, like, are you, like...
I'm in a very complicated situation.
you shouldn't be pursuing these types of conversations with someone when you are married. I don't care how horrible your marriage is at the moment. Like, just divorce then. If it's really that bad to the point that you are considering or even thinking about cheating on your partner, then move on. Like, move on. But yeah, I definitely thought that that situation was very disrespectful. And I wouldn't even be mad if Sophie looks at this and goes, what were you thinking? Because I would have been racing hell. Like, I would have gone crazy mode on him. Just saying. Now, moving on to Alexi and Lauren. Lauren is out and with her friend, they're trying to find some clothes. And when she comes with the first dress, she hates it. But then she leans more into this like leopard print dress that fits her really well. And that also had a past history because it reminds her of a bedsheet that Alexi's mom had for them back when they were dating, which they used to call the sex sheets. But later on, she's preparing for the day. You know, she returns home. She's already dolled up and everything. And even Alexei notices that this is definitely, you know, reminiscing on the sex sheets.
Turn around for me. Turn around. Okay, now you can go.
Lauren was a little bit nervous when she came out and she was showing the dress to Alexei, but Alexei was super receptive to it. He was very nice about it. He called her attractive many times and it was just cute to see this. Then later on they go to the restaurant and they're all happy talking, you know, about all the work that they have been doing and how difficult it has been. And then
It's been really nice, though, having you do this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't for me.
honestly, I was just waiting for a fight because I knew something was gonna happen. Lauren was gonna bring something up. Alexi was not gonna be happy about it, or maybe Alexi was gonna bring something up. And I was right because Alexi comes out swinging with how he's not happy with all the work that he has had to do.
So you need to heal faster and yalla. Get back to it, honey bunny.
But Lauren wants to find herself a career. Yep. She needs a purpose outside of being a stay-at-home mom and a wife, but Alexi wants her to stay at home. They are clearly torn in the middle and something is going to give because they're sitting on opposite sides of the table.
Further my career for our family. I don't want to just be mom and a wife.
I could definitely understand where Lauren is coming from because I personally love being a mom. I love being a wife, but at the same time, we are all selfish humans. Like that's a trait that we carry. And I know that for me, I need hobbies outside of being a mom. I need hobbies outside of being a wife. I like going out with my friends. I like doing extra things. I personally can't not work. I enjoy working. I enjoy being out there. And then when Lauren explains to him that she wants to get back into marketing and pursue that career, this is what he has to say.
You're a mom, first of all. You need to take care of the kids.
Absolutely.
Take care of the house. and me as far as I need.
And I would love to hear what you guys think about the situation. Do you guys think that Lauren is being unreasonable? Because I feel like she's asking for something very doable that just Alexi's not willing to do. He doesn't really want to take care of the kids the way that Lauren would, and he doesn't want to have this extra layer of responsibility. And I just feel like it's very selfish.
At some place, it's gonna take away from the family. 100%.
It's possible, and I'm gonna show you.
I understand, like I said, being selfish as people we are, but how selfish can you be to not want to allow your partner to go back to work? Like, if that's what's really going to give her a little bit more of an excitement or, you know, make her a little bit happier, then I think you should be willing to make that sacrifice. And now let's move on to Jasmine and Gino. Gino tells her that her posture was a 4 out of 10 and she gets pissed. She's so insecure. Like,
from 1 to 10. From 1 to 10.
You mean I have to rate it?
Yes.
I'm not very good at rating. 4.
And also, when she goes out to do her like bodysuit contest, I couldn't get over the fact that her butt looked extremely fake. Like, so freaking fake. Once she comes out of the contest, Gino tells her that her posture needs a lot of work.
You are uninvited to the rehearsals.
Uninvited?
Yeah.
Seriously?
I personally think that Gino is giving her negative feedback on purpose without providing any type of positive reinforcement, which is frustrating because yes, you can provide negative feedback to someone, but also you need to give them at least something positive. You can't just like hammer them down, especially Jasmine. Like, you know, she's incredibly insecure, but that's all we hear from them. Now, let's move on to Manuel and Ashley. With Manuel and Ashley, they're still lingering on that problem of the money. Manuel starts with, let's resolve this right now. And Ashley tells him, I'm going to ask you once more to be honest with me. Did you send the money when we went to New York?
A mis hijos, ¿quién recibe ese dinero? Es la mamá. Pero yo nunca mandé dinero en Nueva York.
Manuel says that he did not. He says that Ashley had his car, and when he asked her for it, she never gave it to him. But we do get some evidence to back up Manuel because the producers play the footage when they were in New York, and it shows that Manuel did try to get the car, but Ashley didn't want to give it to him.
Necesito mi tarjeta.
Don't talk to me.
Me voy.
No, I don't want to talk to you.
Necesito mi tarjeta.
Get away from me.
Necesito dinero.
Get away from me.
But what he does admit is that he is lying about having zero communication with his baby mama. And he does tell her that, but that's all we get. Ashley is extremely upset about the situation. She wants more answers, and I will want more answers too. Yeah, I didn't say goodbye and I didn't ask questions, but I guess the only questions that I do have for this episode is, do we think that Gino's being too harsh on the comments that he's making towards Jasmine? Do we think that Manuel is finally gonna come clean on all the shady stuff that he's been doing, or is he going to continue lying? And what do you guys feel about Lauren and Alexi's situation? Where are we on that? Do we think Alexi is dismissing what she wants? Do we think Alexi is being fair? Do we think Lauren is being unreasonable? Well, let me know. But that's gonna be it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And see you guys next time. Bye.